Hello friends, welcome back to Tutorial Days, and in this video you are learning Flask tutorial. And in this series we will discuss about Flask templates. As you know, Jinja2 template is used in Flask, which I have already discussed about this. In case you have missed the video, then I recommend you to watch the video before you proceed with this. So often we have to send data from Python file to template files, though we can write HTML code directly into our Python file and render to the users. But the process is very difficult to manage. You can see here in this example, we have directly written this HTML code inside return. That means directly into our Python application. But as long as this is smaller, that's fine. But you know, the web pages is not so simple. It can be very complex. In that case, handling this kind of structure is very complex and it will be very difficult. So to avoid this, we will be using Jinja template, which I've already discussed about that. So first, let's see this example that how you can write HTML code directly into the Python code. So let's do one thing. First, let's open PyCharm. So let's create a new file. Let's go to here and then new, then Python file. Here I'll write index.py, or let's write something template example.py. Okay, so I'll write here from Flask import Flask, then app equals to Flask. Inside this, name, after this at the rate app dot route, and inside this we will write here home. It's simple. Then def index colon return, then first I'm writing without HTML, right? Hello, we have already used this, but still I'm writing this. Should it be insert this? Yes. Then yes, and then finally app dot run. Sorry, app dot run. Okay, now let's run the code. And finally, let's click here. Yes, so it's displaying here hello. Nothing new because we have already done like this before. But now what we will do, we will write here HTML code like div and then div close. Inside this, we can write here h1 tag and h1 tag close. You can see there is trailing slash behind this, and so hello world. Maybe we can write here p tag and so p tag inside P as well. This is graph. So you need to put here backslash every time, which is very difficult. Okay, now let's run again and check. Yes, you can see the HTML code. If you check here view source, then you can see that HTML code is applied here. But you can see how troublesome it is, because every time you need to write like this, and also it is difficult. Okay, so to avoid this, we will be using Jinja template. So for that, what you need to do, you need to create one folder called templates inside this project directory. So let's do one thing and open here, go to this folder, my project, this the or my project. So let's create one folder here, new directory called templates. Okay, now inside this we will put our HTML file. Okay, so now let's once again go here. Guys, how I've done this, let me show you. You go to appearance and then presentation mode. I had okay, if you remove, then you can see it will show you like this smaller. So I prefer to see like this. Okay, all right, now we have created the folder. So let's do one thing, let's create one file, HTML file, new, and then this time not Python file but HTML file. So I write it as index.html. Okay, in here let's write something, h1 tag, and as you can see, title and head, body, everything is you can write here. Okay, so welcome to page, welcome to home page, welcome to home page. That's it. So now it's done. Now once again we will get back to our previous file. So our previous file is template example, right? So what I'll do here, in here we need to change it to, let's delete this and right here return render template, render template, and inside this you need to pass here, this is not required, render template, and then inside this we need to write our file name. So our file name is index.html. So it's showing error, unresolved reference render template, render template. Let's write it once again, return render template, and then index.html. Now let's run it. Okay, here you can see there is error. Why? Because we need to call here the module this render template, render template. Now the error is gone. So this is comma, right? Yeah. So now let's run the project. Okay, so now press Control and open. Internal server error, there is something wrong somewhere. Okay, it says template not found. Index.html is not available. Inside, where is it? Okay, index.html, as you can see, it is saved directly inside projects. So we need to save it inside templates, save as, then inside projects, and then templates. Templates. Right, now it's inside templates. Let's delete this. Now let's run again and check. Yes, so now you can see welcome to home page, and this content is coming from here, this HTML page. So suppose this is second line of code. Remember, this file, your HTML file, must be placed inside template folder. So this is your project folder, and inside that you need to create a folder called templates.html, and inside this you can place your code. Now I will show you how to pass variable value from this Python file to template file. So say there is a variable called name, and here I'm writing my name. So my name is Umar Rahman. Now I want to display this value, this variable name, this Umar Rahman, into our HTML file. Okay, so how this is possible? You need to pass here with this parameter. So you will write here name, then here name. Okay, so you can also write like this. That means this is the variable which you will be accessing here, and this variable name should be same. So full name. Now if you want to display here, then you can write something like this, double curly braces, and inside this you write here full name. Now let's run the code here, your app, and then you see the magic. You can see Umar Rahman can be accessed, and this one is from HTML. We have written here. So how this works? We have passed this variable through this one, and we are displaying the value here. Now in this section I will show you how to link the pages, this HTML pages, how you can link to each other. So what we will do, we will create one master page. So suppose this index.html is a master page, and then so normally this is called, let's do one thing, let's create another HTML file, and we will name it as this HTML file, and we will name it as base.html. Okay, and here you can also call bootstrap. Okay, so let's do one thing, let's go here and write here bootstrap cdn. Okay, right, and then let's call header menu bar, okay, as well. So bootstrap menu navbar, we will call it. Suppose you want to, let's take this one. Okay, just copy it and paste it here. So this is our base file. Since we are using Bootstrap, so rather I will write here div, the container div. Okay. So class container, and inside this I will write another div, and this will be the content here. And for this, making this title dynamic here, let's remove it and write here this code: block title and then end title. And here we will write one block. So we will write here block content. That means other pages will load here. That is why we are putting it blank. And similarly, the title of other pages will load here. Now let's create one page called about. And before that, let's go to this template example, and then let's create another definition, def about, then return render template, and here you will write about.html. And also we will write here its routing @app.route, here about. So when we hit this about, then this about page will come here. Now inside about.html, this is our base file. Now let's create one file called about. Now let's go to index.html, okay. So about.html, and inside here let's delete everything. Here we will call this block content of block. Yeah, if you want to display here, we will write here extends base.html. That means we are calling this file into our about page, and then we will write our dynamic title. So once again we'll write here, then we will write here block content. Which one? If you go to base, this one we are extending here, and then here end block, end block, and inside this you can write whatever you like. So first we will write here the title, block title, same title which you have written, put here blank. So the title will be loaded here in between. Okay, so this is the title about us, and apart from this, whatever you want to display, for example div, then there is more content about us page, div, not div and div. Right, now let's go to this one and run the application. And control press it. So this is our home page. Now if we write here about, then guys you can see this is navigation bar which is coming from our base file, right? And this one is coming from our, and also you can see the title here. So how it is working, let me explain here once again. So this is the base, So you can keep here like this, and the navigation will be same for all the pages. So that's why I have kept this in a base file, and then here is the blog content. Now suppose you want to include footer also. So how you can include this footer, let me show you. Inside this base template, let's go here and create another block for footer. Just copy it and paste in block footer, okay, and end block, then keep it blank like this. Now in about us page, what we will do, we will just write here, let's do one thing, let's name it footer, okay, footer and footer. So and here let's write div, this is footer content, right? Now let's run the application and then check here, refresh it. Oh sorry, we need to call here inside about, we need to call here block footer, name it footer, and then end block. Because why? Because we have named it as footer in base file here, this footer, that's why we are calling it this block footer, and then end block. Now run the application and see what will happen. Yes, that's it. Now refresh it and you can see this is footer section, so this is header. And similarly you can also, this header section or menu bar section, you can uh, include same like this, but this is not required normally. Yeah, we can put it navigation bar also. So just cut it and then, but there is no point in writing footer in the other page, so let's keep it that way. So guys, that's it. So what you have learned, you have learned how to call the Jinja HTML page into your application. And also, and yes, one more thing, if you want to display, if you want HTML, CSS and JavaScript, then what we'll do, you go here and then inside template file you create one folder called CSS, okay, and then one more folder called JS, JavaScript, like this. So you can put your CSS file here and you can put your JS file here. Now let's create one file called CSS. New scratch file. So CSS also. Yes, here this is CSS file. So we will write here, say body background yellow. So where did it go? Actually we wanted to save it inside our template files, right? Did you go inside it? No. Now let's once again go here. Being saved. Okay, so now let's go here, file, then new, and then new scratch file, then CSS, this one, and then once again let's write here background, not background here, body background yellow, for the just testing purpose. So what I'm doing is this, save as style. This will be saved in templates, right? So style dot css. Okay, so this is our css file. Now we will include this, so we'll write here link rel style sheet href equals to url4 oh, not here actually, url4, and then insert it static file name style.css. Let's close it. So the syntax is href url4 static file name style css. This is folder name css and then style.css. Now let's go here and once again run the application and run it. Oh, getting this error. So what did it say? Static is undefined. Okay, this is not required actually, so let's remove static from here. This is the folder name actually, so if we just remove this, then no, we have to keep here endpoint, so that was required. Where is that? Inside this base URL, because endpoint is required here, static. So what we need to do, let's go to here, that folder, and create one more folder called static. Okay, inside templates we need to create one folder, new directory, not project directory, actually there was a mistake. It will be new directory. So static, inside static actually will be this JS and CSS. Inside this, I cannot drag and drop. So let's do one thing. Let me go my D drive, window attach, cancel. So the project is in my D drive, so finally I will have to go there. Then Flask tutorial, my project, inside there the template, then static. Inside static we will move these two files. Okay, now let's come back here. So this is fine. Now inside static file name this is this. So now let's run the application and check. Okay, so it will be inside single or double quote. Okay, now once again run the application, then refresh it. Yes, now it's working. but it didn't. The CSS didn't come, right? Static CSS style.css. Oh, not one. Static CSS style.css. Okay, so let's find. Okay, there is no such file. We had created now that time. So, oh, style.css. Let's save it again. Save as. Oh, it got saved inside templates, right? So it says templates static and then CSS. Now, okay, there was a mistake actually. So this static folder will be not inside templates. Okay, this will be rather. Let's delete this. This static folder will be inside main project directory here. So here is the directory static then file name css style.css, right? So now let's once again run the project and check. Yeah. So here slash about. Yes, you can see now the CSS is catching here. So in case you change the CSS something here, and then the style sheet file. So if I change it to green, then it will work here. Yes. So you can see this way. So let's recap it once again. What did I do? In base file, you need to write like this URL code and then about. Inside this, we don't need to do anything. Simply, we created a CSS file and now let's do one final thing. Let's open here this file. So, detail, then last tutorial. So we need to open here this about page. Okay, inside template about list. Now let's copy this file and let's create one more HTML file here. Let's here HTML file and yes, let's create and save it and then now save it as in where inside templates we will name it services services.html inside this template. Okay, so change it to services here also this is more content for services page. That's it. Now what I want to link this page and yes here we will have to create one more route here services and then here services. Now we want to let's delete this We want to in base URL here. This is about base, about us, and this one is services. We want to link it here. So let's write here URL for URL for, then inside here we need to pass here our file about in same way here services, services. Now let's try. So as you can see guys, templating is very important in this. B mapping is existing endpoint function about. Okay, we are getting this error. It says that existing view function is overwritten. So let's do one thing. It's very simple. Rather than this, why not we simply write like this? Simple. About, and then here services. Services. Alright, now it's done. Now let's refresh the page. Okay. Oh, sorry. It will be services, no? Function name will be services here. That was the actual error. Anyway, that's fine. Yes. So now let's open here about. Then it's coming here, and then services. If I click here services, then services page will open. About services. About services. So guys, hope you like this video and you know how this templating system work. So that's it in this video, and this video was important, and you should practice this 2 or 3 times, then you will understand it better. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.